All right. Now I have the distinct honor to be able to introduce you to Nick Furey. He is the president of Daylighters Toastmasters in St. Cloud, Minnesota. He is an author, a motivational speaker. Nick has published one standard book and 3 ebooks, as well as dabbling with podcasts. Nick enjoys talking with anyone on the street and encourages them to laugh, smile, and to rethink their lives. Nick has 3 grown children that live all over the USA. Nick Furey, motivate your world. Motivate your world, Nick Furey.
Have you ever had the opportunity to have another club design your speech? I have, today. And how many of you want to be motivated? And how many of you want to motivate others? Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my honored guests. Motivate your world. I gave the task to Why Not Speak of going through over 175 acronyms of mine and had them pick out 7, and I was going to throw in 3 for dessert. With all the work of the officers, they came together and they did 10, so now I got to throw in 4 for dessert. With that said, Lou Holtz, who is a famous Minnesota coach, is quoted as saying, "Ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. Attitude determines how well you do it." Now, one thing we're going to talk about is these 14 acronyms that I get the privilege of bringing up for you. Let's start with the simple one that I hope today through this message is to motivate you so you can live a better life, and you can motivate others so they can live a better life as well. So you can go to a freegan and help them as well. If they want free food, help them with free food. My neighbors give me free food all the time. I feel like I'm a freegan. But with that said, the motivate, if we look at the acronym, magnifying our true inspirational vision amplifies transformation every day. I'm going to ask you, what is your true vision in life? Your inspirational vision? What inspires you? What gets you excited? What drives you? Whatever that is, magnify it. Do much bigger. That's when you're motivated. Otherwise, it's just a nice thought. But do it every day. And those who know me, I'm Nick Furey, director of the new marvelous S.H.I.E.L.D. And S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for Strategic Headquarters, Inspiring Every Life Daily. Notice how it says every life daily? That's the only mission, is to inspire every life. So use that inspiration in your vision so you can amplify transformation in your life and others. When you have that, when you tend to motivate, it all comes from having the proper vision. Vision is essential. As it says, there are those who have sight, but they have no vision. Vision is victorious individuals showing inspiration over negativity. Negativity, we've been hearing, happens all around us. COVID, all these other things in our life, loss of family members, we've heard of that too. But negativity happens. But when you have a vision, you're a victorious individual that can still show inspiration when there's still negative going on. That's when you have a vision. And vision, very similar, we're going to pull in, you have to have vision, but that all comes when you have a proper focus in your life. You need to have focus. I can tell you that I've gotten to that age where now I need something to help me focus on the computer a little closer because I need cheaters. But focus is when it's a fierce, ongoing commitment. Undeniably equals success. It equals success. But you have to have that commitment to what you want to do. A focus on what it is. If you're an activist, focus on what your goal is. Whatever it might be. If you're in the spiritual realm, be focused on what you believe in. That's the only way we're going to get things done is when we focus. We stay focused on it. One thing we find, every New Year's, what do? We do a New Year's resolution, right? Everybody says, what's your New Year's resolution? Well, everybody comes up with that New Year's resolution that says, I want to lose weight. I want to be nicer to people. I'm going to get a raise at my job. That's my resolution. I'll look at you and tell you, don't make resolutions. They don't work. The weight loss people, January, they go to the gym for the first few weeks. They don't see the results they want. Daniel knows the story. They go through that, and about 3-4 weeks, the gyms are getting less and less membership. Why? It didn't work. It's a resolution. So what's the difference? We're going to take you to a new level. I want to encourage you to set a goal. That's a whole different concept. Setting a goal says gain ongoing achievements in life. Ongoing. So you went to lose weight. You wanted to lose 50 pounds? Let's start with 3. You get 3? Great. That's an achievement. Now let's stack them on top of each other. Little by little, like the stones in the picture, they're stacked on top of each other. You look at the quote on the side, review your goals twice every day in order to be focused on achieving them by Les Brown. So review your goals twice every day in order to be focused on achieving them. When you have a goal, whether it's a DTM, you got a goal to get your DTM, then what are you going to do? What level are you going to work on? What's my level? What's my goal? That's what a goal is for you. And all those is to help us. When we do that, we tend to learn how to grow. When you grow, you gain real ongoing wisdom. You gain. It's something that you have. It's within you. It's everything. It's real. It's not just knowledge. It is a knowing. It's wisdom. Wisdom says the house is on fire. Knowledge says the house is on fire. Wisdom says, don't go in there because it's not safe. And God showed me that the word wisdom is being wise according to the kingdom. Think about that. But when you grow, you're going to grow, and like the plant, you grow from the bottom up. All those other ones we did, motivate, vision, focus, and goal, they all help us to grow. But all of them are not going to do as much good unless we start to think about how we make a choice. It's our choice whether or not we want to grow. It's our choice whether or not we want to set that goal. And choice is consider how our input changes everything. So your input into something is your choice. Whatever direction you go. When you have a choice, you're going down the road and there's a fork in the road. You can take the left or the right. Now the left might take you down the cliff. You don't know. It's a choice you made though. The right might take you to a decision that will change your life forever. I've heard it said, what do you do when you come to a fork in the road? You pick it up. But besides that, make your right choice in your decisions every day. And what it takes is a lot of willpower, right? All those are great things, but if you don't have willpower, they're all just nice ideas. You really don't find it as working for you. But the word power, and we're going to even think of Daniel in this process with the power that he does at the gym. Power is persistence over weaknesses enables restoration. Persistence over your weakness will enable restoration. The key to persistence will open any door that's been closed by resistance. John D. Lem. I want you to think about Thomas Edison. Do you know that it took him 2001 tries to make the light bulb? And when they asked him, do you feel like you failed 2,000 times? He looked at him and said, no, I didn't fail 2,000 times. I figured out 2,000 ways how not to make the light bulb and one way to make it right. And you know, can you imagine 2,000 days of failures? Getting up in the morning, today, hopefully it's a day. Nope. That's almost 7 years of failure. But he never gave up. He was persistent over the weaknesses. And now we have light bulbs through him and Tesla. And one thing we know that'll help us on the way, when we learn to be a team together. Toastmasters teaches us how to be a team. We have a team that the general evaluator uses. We have a team that the Toastmaster accomplishes in the officers. I have heard team before was together everyone achieves more. I think it's great, it's not bad, but I look at a different perspective. Together every achievement matters. Every speech, every table topics, every aspect of what you do in Toastmasters to start with. The little things, the big things, the DTMs, whatever it might be, a contest won, that's an achievement. And you know what? It matters. It matters to you, it matters to the club, because then we can get presidential distinguished. So it matters to everybody, that little thing you do. I have heard some things that actually hinder our walk like that. I've heard the word fear before was false evidence appearing real. However, what if I have a gun held to my head? Isn't that real evidence? Isn't that something I should really be afraid of? I should really be terrified of that. Or fear of jumping out of the plane without a parachute, that's real evidence. That's fear. But when I ask God, he says, no, we're going to do fear as finding everything a roadblock. Think about the things of fear of the dark, fear of spiders, fear of being mugged on the street. There are little roadblocks that are in your life that kind of keep you from doing what you want to do. But then you can get help from somebody to take the debris off the road, clear the road, and get back on the road of life. But the other thing I thought about this and why it's effective, what about the aspect of the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom? I ask you, is that false evidence appearing real? No. You'll look on the picture, it has a roadblock down the bottom. I purposely put that there. Why? Because if that bridge was out on the East Coast, it looks like, but if that bridge was out in the middle, doesn't the construction company put up the roadblock? Do they do that to ruin your life? To stop you from doing what you want to do? No, they do that to prevent you from going in the river and dying. That's the fear of God. That's what the fear of God designs. Another one that devastates so many people they're stuck in their past. Every one of us has a past. Whatever happened yesterday, that's the past. What I said 2 seconds ago, that's the past. I understand it's hard, it's hurt, the pain, all those things are pain that we have to deal with. It's our past. But we don't get into the future until we get rid of the past. We have to say goodbye to the past, remember it, but don't let it take control. The word past is to put aside shadowed times. Put aside shadowed times. Not the good times, the shadowed times. When I was married the first time, my wife then said, Nick, why don't you take all those clothes that you don't wear anymore, let's put them in a box and take them to Goodwill. So we pile them all up, take them over to Goodwill, and I put them aside, right? And I got them out of my life. It's only bad if I'm unwise and go back to Goodwill and buy those clothes back. But isn't that what we do with some of those things? We ask for forgiveness. We forgive somebody, but oh, no, 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 I want that one back. I want it. It's mine. That's what we do. We put aside those times, but then we say we want it back. Is that right? No. We actually suffer from that. You look at the scenery, it's devastating. That's what happens with our past. It devastates our future. But now I'd like to take a moment to address the women, especially. You've been undermined over and over again by magazines and the works that tell you what real beauty is. You're told that beauty is all this and what you wear. But I'm going to encourage you that beauty is actually when by expelling all unpleasantries toward you. When you get rid of the unpleasantries in your life, beauty shines through. Real beauty from deep within. When you get rid of all the ugly unpleasantries, you'll let it shine the beauty from within, and everybody will see you. It's going to get kind of graphical, but we eat food today. Most of us had lunch, supper, and we put that food in our body, goes in our stomach. Stomach says, is this really good for nutrients, or is it just waste? Do we need to just get rid of it? Well, you know what? We know what happens from there. The body says we're going to expel all that we don't need. We get rid of the crap in our life. If we don't do that, we'd end up with Crohn's disease, which can be painful, discomfort, and also it can lead to death. But our bodies are so smart and intricate. But how come our minds don't pick up on that same thing? People leave crap in their mind. Imagine Crohn's disease in your mind. We have all that unpleasantries we allow to harbor in here, when we should really flush them away. So we don't have to keep putting up with them. They don't have to haunt us anymore. Having beauty is looking at what creation is and seeing how beautiful it is around you. Beauty is seeing someone that is a freegan that needs help. That's a homeless person. Beauty is when I see them for not what I see, but what they are. If it's a diamond, is a diamond still a diamond even if it's in a pigsty? Yes, it is. It doesn't matter where it is, it matters what it is. You have beauty. You have value no matter what. You're like a diamond. As the singer says, shine bright like a diamond. I ask you to look at it from that perspective. One area in our life we all need to work on. We heard from Anthony too. Respect. We all need respect. Respect. We want respect for ourselves, but we need to give respect. And the word respect is pretty interesting by itself. I just changed the picture last night. But respect regarding everyone, so peace encourages character today. Who's everyone? Well, this big ball called Earth, that's everyone. No matter who they are, what culture, what nationality, what creed, what lifestyle, that's everyone. We need to regard them, no matter who they are. Then peace will happen, and we will have a better character. Our country and our world will have better character because we've instilled peace by respect. Aretha talked about respect. She sang about it, but I'm telling you about it because this is what it really breaks down to. And when we have that, we have the word peace in there. Yes, it all comes through peace. Peace is people enabling a caring environment. It goes back to those freegans. What are you doing to be a caring environment to those around you? If you know they need free food, what are you doing to give them the free food? Do you want to have a caring environment? It benefits you. It certainly benefits you, but it benefits them as well. But having a caring environment is where real peace happens. It's not the absence of war. In fact, John Lennon had said, imagine that there's no country. There's nothing to live or die for, kill or die for. Imagine all the people living for today. And the last one I leave with you is the word right. I've heard about there's many writers in the club. That's great, I love it. But the word right is we reflect inward, transcribing everything. When your day seems challenging, full of despair or elation, write down your thoughts and actions. This will remind you how you survived the bad days and love the good ones. So take time to write down your thoughts. So that maybe a year from now, you come back and say, yeah, it was great. I loved it. Or, oh man, I made it through that tough time. Remember that. Journal. It'll get you through life. So I'm hoping through tonight, through all these acronyms that were pre-chosen by Why Not Speak. With that, I hope you found a way to be motivated so you can motivate others. And do something for this freaking world. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Nick. I don't know about everyone else, but let's give Nick a round of applause for blessing us with for Why Not Speak specifically. We appreciate you. Now, this is the Q&A. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, and I will start out with the question for Nick. Nick, you have been doing this for several years. What got you started?
Well, when I shared that part of my speech just about the acronyms, back in 1999, I was a struggling mortician. And it was, I was struggling. We were paid maybe 25 grand a year. People think we made buku bucks, but it wasn't. My wife then, she was a stay-at-home mom. If she wasn't a stay-at-home mom, she was a go-away shopper. So that caused a little bit of financial struggle. And I was figuring, what would everybody in the United States pay $1 for? Would you pay $1 for a word that would truly change your life? Would you pay $1? Think about that. So I said, I've heard these acronyms like PUSH, pray until something happens. DOG, depend on God. frog, fully rely on God. I heard those and I thought, they're pretty amazing. God, there's got to be more. There just has to be. So then he gave me, start off with the word faith. Find assurance in trusting him. And they started coming in slow. I'd ask for words and he'd say, nope, not now, nope. It stopped. But then it got to the point where, God, hold on, too many, I'm not ready, come on. And now I'm up to 175. But it was mainly, it was from financial gain is where I started from. But it turned into the labor of love. When I hear people say, I never thought about it like that before, it must mean they're changing the way they think now. So I do have the neutral ground on the Motivate Your World, but I have the spiritual direction with renewing your mind today. But I believe that when I did my first book, Crosswords, people would pick up the book and say, oh, it's that kind of book. I'm not into the cross. Bye. And so I lost them. And I felt bad. I really felt hurt that I couldn't reach that person. So now I'm working on the non-Christian version in order to bring them in. Because Paul said, I'll be all things to all people that I might win a few. Anyone else?
I'd like to say I'm very impressed with your speech. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I enjoyed all the different acronyms and the words that you use with each one of your acronyms. Very impressive. I just wanted to give you a plug for that. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. It's a big coming from you.
Anyone else have any questions? Debbie?
Nick, I really enjoyed your presentation as well. What I really enjoyed about it was the background pictures of each inscription that you chose seemed to fit so targetly with the actual phrase that you were using. How did you make the selection for that?
When my publisher, when I was working with her, she had gone through Shutterstock and got thousands of pictures on this little external hard drive. And she went out of business, gave it to me, and the machines fell apart, so it didn't work the way I wanted, but those pictures were available. So I've been able to use them for my posters. Those are actual posters. I use them for backgrounds. And I always want something, like you said, Debbie, something that applies to what it's talking about. If it's just a nice picture, it doesn't do the trick. It has to be something that says peace. It says respect. And like I said last night, I changed the one for respect because I didn't like it that there was only, like 2 cultures in there. It didn't speak to me. I want something that says respect is for everyone. So that's kind of where it has to be, is it's the depth that comes with it.
I like that. That was very good. Thank you.
I meant
I'm actually going to say the same thing, Debbie. I just thought that every picture matched the acronym and the phrase. I just thought that was excellent. Very thoughtful.
Thank you. And it is a thing I look at, and I've shared when I speak about power with Daniel, the whole thing of power is persistence. Even when your muscles are sore, the burn of the muscle, persistence actually causes you to get restoration into your body through that. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring in further, but I had to condense the speech.
So with you saying that, Nick, condensing the speech, how long do you normally speak for when you go and speak with acronyms?
When I've been speaking around the nation now, thank God for Zoom, I try to keep them 7 to 9 minutes roughly, and I cater it to a shortened version of it. I've done Word Up, which is a short version. I've done little bits and pieces that I can figure out what's going to help them. You know, and when I do my motivational speaking, I do just like I did for Why Not Speak. You go to a restaurant and you don't walk in there and they say, today you're going to have chicken and you're going to have broccoli. They don't tell you that. You look at the menu and you choose what you want. And if it's your birthday, they might throw in dessert. So that's kind of my method. What you hear in Omaha would not be necessarily the same speech if I went out to Massachusetts and spoke out there. They might pick totally different words. What affects them might be different than affects you. And that's my method. I'm not a cookie cutter speaker. I hate that. Honestly, I'll be straightforward. I hate that. It's a wrong interpretation, but I get friggin' upset when people do that. Why would I go from one state to another to see somebody if it's the exact same speech? I guess we're at green. Any last questions from anybody? Annie? I see you were engaged during the speech.
I enjoyed all of it, but there was fine print I really couldn't get to. And why do you have fine print on when you have the big old words on there?
Which one?
A couple of them looked like it had some extra writing other than just your like R-E-S-P-C-T. There are at least three of them. I thought I saw some fine print other than your just
on the bottom.
Your acronyms.
On the bottom. That's my website, themotivateyourworld.net. So that's the tagline that goes with the poster.
There were a few that you had some inspiration quotes, like Les Brown and a couple other people. Those were kind of like tagged inside your poster. And I appreciated that too, because it helps give some meaning behind the thought that you put there.
So it's not just me. I believe in whatever I do, whether it's podcast, whether it's speaking, whether it's writing, it's not just me. It's not my message. It's God's message to the people. I'm just the one that's the conduit to bring it through.
And you did a good job, I think, you know, of really, you're so dynamic so that your passion and your commitment really does come through when you present. That was very strong.
Thank you. It was my honor and my privilege to be able to bring this. The first time I've done that for a Toastmasters Club, to allowing them to pick my speech. And it was fun. And I hope you saw the ones I added in there. So thank you again. You're an awesome club. I always love it. And when I go tomorrow to the Salvation Army, I'll be another version of a freakin'.
All right, thank you very much. And we're gonna stop that portion, but I have something special that was given to us by Nick. And I have all your names right here. And since Christine is also a Toastmaster, I put your name in here also. And we're going to ask our president to pull a name and then hold it. Don't say who it is, so I can tell them exactly what.
Me. I'm kidding.
His name is not in there because Nick, nor mine, nor Anthony's was in the bag. It was everyone else. And what are you going to receive? You're going to receive a 2020 acronym calendar, Motivate Your World, given to us. I don't know if you can see that, but just really quickly on February 12th, 2020, he said guilt. What is guilt? Getting us into living terrified. Guilt, punishing yourself before God doesn't. Wow. So even though I just have to say this to you, Nick, this is awesome. I appreciate you donating for the cause. And one thing that I would say to you in regards to this, actually, you know, I'm going to send you an email in regards to something that I think might help you. This says 2020, but I'm going to be like, okay, forget about the 2020, January 1st. I'm going to say, okay, January 1st, ABLE, accomplishments by leadership every day. ABLE, able. Yes, yes, yes. Anthony, can you tell us who the winner is?
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
And the winner is someone right on the screen. And that would be Debbie R.
Debbie
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Debbie, you will not only get that one, but you'll get the 2021 versions of the Motivate Your World and Renewing Your Mind today as well.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank
Impressive.
you.
Really nice if y'all get to actually see all of these. This is very nice.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
All right, Debbie, let's go with one more question for table topics. And at this particular time, I'm going to ask you all, if you have anything that you want to say to Nick, to go ahead and put it in the chat for him. So whatever it is, go ahead and send it in the chat. Evaluate him so that he knows what he's doing. Of course, I just say he was fantastic. He was fabulous. And we at Why Not Speak appreciate you taking the time out to allow us to be able to say how we were wanting our speech to be done by letting us choose the word. And believe me, I had a hard time breaking it down to what I broke it down, and the rest of the staff helped me after I got so many of them to break it even down further. All right, Debbie, one more question.
All right. Well, Nick was such an inspiring speaker that I just want to go with the thought of, I know you guys remember Michael Jackson's song that says, you know, to make the world a better place, you got to take a look at yourself, looking at the man in the mirror. Sometimes you feel like you're a freegan because you feel like after the end of the day, you're left with no energy, no inspiration. At least sometimes I feel like my confidence lacked. So I'm asking you, what motivates you the most when you're feeling at your worst? What motivates you the most when you're feeling at your worst? And let's give that to Daniel.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. And this is a time where I'm not going to be a freegan in this. I'm not going to waste away the food or the words. What motivates me the most when I am at my worst is coming to the realization that I have the exact same amount of time on this earth that everyone else has. And that is the 24-hour period that I am in. Yesterday and everything that happened